Term plan is the best, simplest, and the most affordable way of buying a life insurance. In the last video, we had seen that why a term plan is much better than an endowment or a ULIP plan. Now, if we have taken the decision of purchasing a term plan, how should we think about it? In this video, we will cover the top pointers to consider while purchasing a term plan. Hey guys, my name is Jay and welcome to the next episode of Money Matters. On my channel, we talk about basic concepts related to personal finance and interesting ways to think about money. If this is a topic which resonates with you, consider subscribing to my channel. Today, we'll talk about how to choose the best term insurance in less than 15 minutes. Let's dive right into it. For those of you who don't know much about insurance, your first question would be, what is a term insurance plan? A term plan is a life insurance that is purchased for a fixed duration of time, that is for 20, 30 or 40 years. Now this fixed duration is called as term of the insurance. During the term, the policy holder keeps paying a premium to the insurance company, and in the unfortunate event of death of the policy holder, the insurance company pays a guaranteed lump sum amount called as a sum assured to the family/nominee of the policy holder. My personal example is that I have taken a term plan for sum assured of 2 crore rupees. The term of my insurance is 40 years. The premium which I pay is 25,000 rupees per year. So my current age is 30 years. So essentially it means that till the age of 70 years, I'll keep paying the insurance company a premium of 25,000 rupees per year. If I happen to die before 70 years, the insurance company will pay my family a sum total of 2 crore rupees. Now we'll use my personal choice as an example in steps going forward. The next question that you might come across is, how to decide what should be the sum assured. It is slightly tricky to estimate the amount that would be enough for your family 20 or 30 years later in the unfortunate event of your death. Now, as a rule of thumb, your sum assured should be 20 times your annual expenses. This is a bare minimum. For example, my fixed expenses are 10 lakh rupees per annum. That is why I've taken 20 times that amount, that is 2 crore rupees as my sum assured. Now you may ask, why 20 times? Why not 10 or 15? Well, the math is simple. My fixed expenses are 10 lakh rupees per annum. If something happens to me, then my family gets 2 crore rupees. If they are not financially very savvy, they can keep the money in a fixed deposit. Now the current fixed deposit rates are somewhere around 5%. So basically they get the same 10 lakh rupees per annum to take care of the fixed expenses. That is why 20 times is important. Now when I started my career, I had very low fixed expenses. I was staying with my parents, so I had no rent to pay. I had no education loan and no home loan. Had I done the math then, the sum assured value of 20 times my fixed expenses would have been very low. This would not take care of my future family expenses or even inflation. In such a scenario, you can consider 15 to 20 times your current annual salary as sum assured. So a bare minimum is 20 times your fixed annual expenses, and on the higher side we have 20 times your annual salary. This is a very basic method of estimating your sum assured. There are a few advanced methods as well, and I'll be linking those articles in the description below. Ideally, you should take the highest sum assured value as per your affordability. The next question that you may come across is, how to decide what should be the term of the insurance. Ideally, you should take the policy for as long as you plan to work and have financial dependence. So if you plan to retire or not have any income by the age of 55 or 60 years, take the policy till 55 or 60 years. Now when I was thinking of my term insurance, I thought that I want to leave some sort of inheritance or legacy for my family. So that's why I was thinking of a term of 99 years, because it essentially guarantees a payout. Now when I did the math, I realized that insurance companies are not doing any charity. As soon as I increase my term to 99 years, the premium increases significantly. Let's look at a quick example on Policybazaar. As I had mentioned, if the term is 70 years for 2 crores, then the premium comes to approximately 25,000 per annum. Now if I switch to whole life, the same premium jumps to around 44k per annum. Premium jumps by almost 80%. After seeing this math, I decided that if I want to leave some inheritance for my family, it made more sense to save that incremental premium in investment options. Now, once you don't have any financial dependence or you're not actively earning, then you don't need a life insurance. So choose your tenure accordingly. Now, there are certain term policies that ensure return of premium at the end of the term if you survive till maturity. These policies are called as premium back policies. The next question is, should you select premium back policies? Let's tackle that question by taking an example. As per my personal example, the sum assured is 2 crores, current age is 30 years, term of the insurance is 40 years, that is still age of 70. And the premium for the basic term policy is around 24 to 25k. Let's assume 25k. Here is the option where we can select plans that return my premium. Plans where essentially you get your entire premium back at maturity. Let's see what happens to the premium when we select this option. Boom! The premium increases to 47k. This is almost double of our previous amount of 25k. In the return of premium policy, I get back 18.01 lakhs on survival. That is, when I'm a 70-year-old man, I would be getting 18 lakh rupees. Now this 18 lakhs after 40 years would be absolute peanuts. Now the inflation adjusted amount of this 18 lakh rupees would be around 3 to 4 lakh rupees. So basically there is no point paying a higher premium for premium back policies. So in a nutshell, premium back policies are significantly more expensive than a plain vanilla regular term plan. So please opt for a plain vanilla regular term plan. The next question that you may come across is, what is the mode of premium payment that you should select? There are essentially two modes of premium payment. One is regular payment. In a regular payment, you keep paying the premium every year till the term of the insurance. So if we take my example, my age is 30 years, sum assured is 2 crores, term is till age 70 years, premium is approximately 25k, payment term is 40 years, that is from age 30 till age 70. So I end up paying 40 years into 25,000, that amounts to 10 lakh rupees. This is what happens in regular pay. The second mode of payment is limited pay. Now in this mode, you pay the premium for a limited time, but you enjoy the cover for the entire term of the insurance. Now in an example, if you see this option, it says save up to 50%. Okay. Now once we select it, it says pay for a limited period of time and enjoy cover for full period. Over here, there is this one option which says pay for 10 years and save up to 49%. Let's see what happens here. Once we select this option, the premium becomes 50k. But you have to pay only for 10 years and your cover will be for 40 years, that is till age 70. So essentially for the same age of 30 years, the sum assured 2 crores, the term is till 70 years, the premium is double the amount, almost 50k, but the payment term is 10 years. So I end up paying 10 years into 50,000. This amounts to 5 lakh rupees. So essentially it seems like you're saving up to 5 lakh rupees. Wow, what a great deal! A 5 lakh rupee discount. Is it? What does my mom say when we see a great deal? Do the math. Before we do the math, let me tell you that if we are choosing the option of limited pay, we are not saving 5 lakh rupees, we are making a notional loss of 30 lakh rupees. Let me show you how. Now let's take the same scenario where you take 50k per year out of your pocket for the next 10 years. So basically you're taking out 5 lakh rupees from your pocket. But instead of giving this 50,000 to the insurance company, you split it in two halves. 125,000 you keep paying for the regular premium payment and the rest 25,000 you keep in an SIP, okay, where you get an annualized returns of 10%. And you keep doing this for the next 10 years. Now ideally you should not be taking out a single penny more from your pocket because this is what limited pay is offering, right? Pay up to 10 years and enjoy the cover for 40 years. But we have chosen regular pay and now we have to pay 25,000 per year for the next 30 years. Where will this money come from? Let me show you where it will come from. Now you remember that we are putting the other half of 25,000 in an SIP. Now the SIP corpus after 10 years would become somewhere around 4.5 lakhs. Let this be invested in the mutual funds only and let's assume that you keep getting 10% annualized returns here. Now this 4.5 lakhs will generate an interest of 45,000 per year. Of this 45,000, take out 25,000 every year and pay it as your insurance premium and keep the rest of the amount invested. Let this happen for the next 30 years. Let's hope all stays well and you survive till the end of the term. So now you have taken out only 5 lakh rupees from your pocket. You have paid 25,000 per annum for 40 years under a regular payment plan. Now do you know what the SIP corpus would be at the end of your term? It would be 30 lakh rupees. Now you gotta smash that like button for this eye-opening math. Now, if the above math is complicated, what I'm essentially trying to say is that you should make your money work for yourself. Now, the insurance company is not doing any charity by giving you a 5 lakh rupee discount. They're investing your money and making so much more out of it, which ideally you should be doing. Long story short, opt for regular payment plan. The next point we should discuss it, what should be the sum assured payout option. This essentially means that how should the insurance company pay the sum assured to your nominees. Sum assured payout typically has a few options. Number one is full lump sum payout. Here the nominee gets the entire sum assured in one go. The second option is regular income. Here the nominee gets the sum assured in smaller monthly or annual regular payments. Option number three is increasing income. This is very similar to regular income, the only difference being that the monthly or annual amount which the nominee gets increases as the years go by. Option number 4 is partial payout and partial income. As the name suggests, part of the sum assured is paid out as a lump sum amount and the rest is given to the nominee as a regular income. Now in the limited payment section, we had discussed the point that why it is important to make your money work for yourself rather than giving it to the insurance company. Now based on the same principle, full lump sum payout is the simplest and in the best interest of your dependents. Get the money in your kitty in one shot. This brings us to the next question is, how should we select an insurance player? Now there are a few metrics that you need to consider while selecting an insurance player. Number one is claim settlement ratio. What is claim settlement ratio? Well, if the insurance company gets 100 claims and it approves 98 claims and rejects 2 claims, then the claim settlement ratio of this insurance company is 98%. Claim settlement ratio or CSR is basically a metric that indicates the efficiency of settling claims by an insurance company. Now, if an insurance company has a claim settlement ratio of more than 97%, then it's a good insurance company. Claim settlement ratio is not the only metric which you should consider to evaluate an insurance player. The next metric is called amount settlement ratio. What is amount settlement ratio? Well, in the above example, let's assume that the cumulative value of the 100 claims which the insurance company got was 100 crore rupees and the 2 claims which it had rejected was worth 5 crores each. So essentially the company got claims worth of 100 crores and it passed only 90 crores. So the amount settlement ratio of this insurance company is 90%. Now what this means is that it is easier for insurance companies to show a higher claim settlement ratios by passing off smaller claims and holding off claims which are of higher ticket size. So that's why it's very important to look at the amount settlement ratio also of the insurance company. An amount settlement ratio of more than 90% is considered healthy. Now point number 3 is history of the company or brand. Basically you should select a brand or an insurance company that you have confidence in because this is the company that you expect to last for the next 30 or 40 years. Now there are certain big brands like LIC, HDFC Life, ICICI Prudential, Tata AIG, etc. You can make the choice by yourself. Now let me also share a few extra tips with you with respect to purchasing a term insurance. Number 1 is full disclosure. Please ensure that you do a full disclosure of your right age, your health issues, if you're a smoker or not at the time of purchasing the term insurance. Many people try to manipulate this information to get a lower premium. This is not recommended because at the time of maturity, the insurance company does a thorough check of the background, etc. And if it senses any foul play, it may reject the claim. The second one is inform your families or your nominees. Now, you should inform your nominees about your life insurance and also share with them the policy documents in case something happens to you. You may either do it through an email or you can even keep it in a Google Drive. One important disclaimer which I want to share with you guys is that this is an informational video. Please use the pointers which I have mentioned as guidelines to purchase your insurance and do your own research. You can speak to your friends, families and financial advisors before taking any decision. We discussed a lot of points above. Let's see a quick summary of all the key pointers which we discussed above. Number 1 is take a simple plain vanilla term plan. Number 2 is sum assured should be 20 times your annual expenses and the upper limit should be 20 times your annual salary. Number 3 is term of the insurance is till the time you plan to work for or till the time you have financial dependence. Number 4 is do not select premium back policies. Number 5 is opt for regular premium payment. Number 6 is for the sum assured payout, opt for full lump sum payout. Number 7, look for metrics like claim settlement ratio, amount settlement ratio and the brand of the insurance company before you select your insurance player. Number 8 is be honest about your age, your health issues, whether you're a smoker or not at the time of taking the term insurance. Now, all in all, life insurance is a very important decision, and if you're a working professional in the age group of 20 to 40 years, you absolutely need to opt for one. Hopefully, through this video, I was able to help you take a much more informed decision. I'm sure you would understand that neither the insurance company nor the insurance agent will share these insights that I just shared with you. Now, I've gathered these insights from a consumer's perspective to share it with other consumers like you. So please share it with your friends and family who you think will benefit from this video. In the next video, we'll talk about the benefits of health insurance. Till then, take real good care of yourself, and thanks for watching.